Yeah, well, really was some sobering news today related to, that was alcohol related. More people are dying from it, and the numbers are particularly high for women. According to the Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation at the University of Washington from 2007 to 2017, alcohol-related deaths among women rose 67%. Wow. For men, the number increased 27%. Mostly young and middle-aged women were impacted by this. But what was also fascinating about this report is alcohol is now killing more adults than opioids. 72,000 people per year die from opioids. Alcohol kills 88,000. The complications that most affect women who drink excessively are liver damage, heart disease, breast cancer, and complications with pregnancy. And one of the psychologists actually that I read in one report was saying that it's the culture around it. Like it's seen as, it's more of a stigma surrounding if you're shooting up a drug versus if you're drinking. It's like it's socially acceptable.
Yeah, I mean, we were joking about this is called happy hour, right? I mean, this is that time of day where they discount drinks, and it's supposed to be this fun, happy-go-lucky thing. So.
Yeah, and so I think that's why it's important, like we're going to have the conversation now, is what is considered moderation. And I know tomorrow we're going to continue the conversation with an expert in the area.
Do you guys think we will ever see a shift? I mean, you think about the tobacco days, right? Tobacco, everyone's smoking, it's all good. And then you start to see what tobacco's doing, and they're like, okay, we got to stop people from smoking. Alcohol, do you think will be the same?
Yes, I think there will be a shift in figuring out, okay, what's the right amount, because I did some stories earlier this year related to cancer. I think it was, I think it might have been colon. Okay. And they said a risk factor was alcohol, and it's also a risk factor for, like, it's a, sorry, they identify it as a risk factor if you drink for breast cancer as well. And so if there's that connection.
Well, medically, I mean,
do something.
There's only one way this goes. I mean, all we know for sure about alcohol is that it is bad for you. Absolutely, unquestionably bad for you. So if at a certain point we can trace it to that amount of deaths, I think we're going to have to step in and somehow, some way,
I know we're getting a lot of text messages about this because this is a huge, huge topic. So let's get to some of those. Drinking in moderation. When you start to feel it, you should stop.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because we asked, you know, what does that mean to you if we say drinking in moderation?
Oh, this is a good one. Nicole in Rainier Beach, basically setting a limit and then sticking to it. That's a good one.
So drinking in moderation, when you start to feel it, you should stop. What is the idea of drinking? Like, why do we do it?
Yeah.
To feel differently?
Yeah, I mean, that was something we were talking about when I was pregnant. That was when I realized how often there were opportunities to drink in a social situation, because then it was like, oh, I'm having to strategize about ordering a virgin cocktail at a pizza place for a random, and then as a parent now, we all talk about, oh, I've got to unwind after the kids go to bed. So I think a lot of people treat it as a way to unwind, because you get that fuzzy feeling.
To feel different, right. Let's see that one more text. Stephanie just said we have another text that came through. Let's see what they had to say. My moderate drinking out with friends and at social situations became an addiction. I am now an alcoholic and only drink alone because of the shame and guilt.
Oh, man.
That's awful.
That's tough.
Yeah, and we will have someone on here on the show tomorrow that helps people who are in similar situations from Smoky Point. So hopefully we'll have some good conversations around that, and we'll all learn something.
And there's a way out of that, by the way.
Yes.
Thank you for being brave enough to text that with us. There is help. There's a reason why just about every other commercial you hear on the radio, especially this time of year, offers services. So consider taking them up on that.
I have so many questions.
Yeah.